Hello and welcome to the MStar training session on how to enter personal details of a student. Let us see the steps to do the same. Click on the MStar button and select Module Admission. The module name Admission starts appearing on the main screen, which means that you are now working in the Admission module. Click on the button Activities and select the screen Student Personal Details. Once the screen opens, select Academic Year. Select session in which you had registered the student and now you want to admit. Click on the Find button against the text Auto Registration Number. A new window Registered Student opens. This window shows us all the students who have been registered at the time of registration but are yet to be admitted. Select the name of the student. You can also enter the name of the student in the box below student name and click on the name of the student. The details as saved at the time of registration for the student appears on the main screen. Enter school admission number for the student. You can enter maximum 14 characters in this field. You can enter both text and number. It is recommended that the field admission number is entered for all the students, even though this field is optional. MStar does not allow the entry of duplicate school admission number, and therefore a validation message will be displayed if you enter the same admission number which is already saved for another student. Update the date of admission for the student. By default, it shows us today's date. We can enter as required. The date to be entered in the DD, MM, YYYY format, that is date, month and year. Ensure that you enter the correct date of admission because based on this date, the student names gets displayed. The personal details of the applicant as entered at the time of registration are appearing. The other fields like the auto admission number gets auto-generated once you have saved the entry of the student. The fields OMV card number, valid from and valid to also gets generated automatically once the student card is personalized and printed. The board registration number can be entered for students as well. This is the registration number given by the board and you can enter maximum 25 characters. Both text and numbers can be entered. This is an optional field. This generally applies to the class 9th, class 10th and class 12th students. The personal details in the section Personal Details appears as what was entered at the time of registration for the student. In case you want, you can update some of the fields such as the nationality, religion, social class, mother tongue, languages known, whether the child is adopted, whether the parent signature are available on the registration form, languages spoken at home, special category, etc. Here in this screen, now you can also enter the Aadhaar enrollment number in the box against Aadhaar enrollment number text. You can enter maximum 20 characters in this field. Both text and number can be entered. This is an optional field. Enter the enrollment date for the Aadhaar number. This has to be entered in the date format like date, month and year, and this is also an optional field. Enter the Aadhaar number for the student. You can enter maximum 20 characters in this field and both text and number can be entered. This is also an optional field. For office use section, the details as entered at the time of registration appears as is. Now select the class section of the student in which you want to admit him. Select the class at the time of admission, that is the class in which the student took admission in this school. Ensure that the status of the student is shown as active, which means that the student is active in the school. By default, active status is displayed. Student status can be saved as active, inactive, needs login and pass out and suspended. In case the student needs to be made inactive in the school, then the status needs to be saved as inactive. Select the fee category as applicable for the school from the box against the fee category. The fields marked with asterisk, that is the star sign, are mandatory for saving the details in the screen. The email address is also showing as entered at the time of registration. You can also record whether the student has been accepted or rejected for admission. If he is rejected, then you can click on the circle against the text rejected and it gets highlighted. Since we are accepting this admission, select the accepted button. If you want to mark the student as a foreign student, click on the small square against the foreign student and a tick appears. You can also mark other fields, whether the child is a readmission case or all the certificates has been submitted by the student, the registration fees has been submitted, it is admission from a quota or medical certificate by the school doctor. Also note that since we have already attached the photograph of the student in the registration, we cannot make any updations in the name of the student. If we try to do that, then it shows us the message that the new OMB card needs to be issued. For making any update in the screen for the student name, we have to remove the photograph. For that, the steps will be shown in another tutorial. Once we have entered and updated the details as required, click on the button Save on the toolbar. The data saving confirmation message is received. Click OK. Click on the Clear button to clear the screen. Now it is important to check whether the details that we have entered have been saved correctly. So select the academic year, select the session in which we admitted the child. Now instead of selecting the Find button, which only shows the registered students, we will now click on the View button. A window Admitted Student opens, showing us the list of all the admitted students. Either select from the list or enter the name of the student in the box below student name and search for the student. Once the student name is highlighted in the list, click on the name of the student and the details as we have just entered appears on the main screen. There is another way to select the student. Let us clear the screen and see the steps. In case we know the admission number of the student and wants to retrieve its details, just enter the school admission number. Just enter the school admission number in the field School Admission Number and press on the Enter button on the keyboard. By doing so, it searches for the student based on the admission number and displays the details on the screen. Clear the screen and repeat the steps to enter personal details of other registered students. Now once we have entered the data of the student, there may be a need of updating the same at any time. For this, let us see the steps to update the details of a student whose personal data is already entered and saved. Select the academic year, select session in which the student is admitted and click on the View button. The window Admitted Student shows us the list of all the students who have been admitted in the selected session. Enter the name of the student to search for the student name and click on the student name to display the details on the main screen. Update the details if required. Click on the Save button. The data saving confirmation message is received. Click OK on the confirmation message. Click on the Clear button to clear the screen. And let us again check the updates that we have made. Select the academic year, select session. Now we can either click on the View button and select the student from the admitted student list, or the other step that we have just seen, we can enter the school admission number, click on Enter on the keyboard and display the details of the student on the main screen. So the changes that we have just done are showing us on the main screen. Click on the Clear button to clear the screen. Repeat the steps to update the personal details of other students. Key points that you need to remember for this screen are that the student details once entered and saved cannot be deleted, though you can update their details. Once the class section is allotted to a registered student in the screen Student Personal Details, the applicant is considered to be admitted to a class section in the school, and therefore All the details from the registration screens get transferred to the respective admission screens. Thank you for taking time to watch this video.